Hello. Hello.
Hey, Joni, if anybody wants to just quickly check in and let us know where you're coming from and maybe drop a good word of the day, go for it.
I am in Pittsburgh, PA.
What is the good word of the day in Pittsburgh, PA?
The good word of the day. I don't know.
Okay, so you get three
Give me
words. I don't
give
know.
me a second. I'll yell. Let me think about it.
Three of the most powerful words I've ever learned. I don't know. Anybody else want to check in? What's up, Billy?
Hi, I'm
Go ahead.
just trying to figure out my earphones.
That's a lot more than one word.
What was the question you asked?
I'm just saying if anybody wants to check in where they are, where they're coming in from, and what's the good word of the day. Create the energy for the room.
I
Good
got three
word.
words.
Go on.
Go for
Enjoy your breath.
it. Where have you heard that before?
You know.
What about you, Billy?
Peace.
There's a good one.
Always. Yes.
Tranquility.
And Nash, how about you?
Is that my Nicole?
You got to unmute.
Okay, I was unmuting it. So I'm in Illinois, and hey, Joni,
That's my girl.
yeah. And my word for today's been a really good day. So I would say beauty and creation. Like it's been a really beautiful day.
Take that liberty to just choose two words because they're so delicious.
Yes.
Good for you. I saw Jose pop in, but then he popped out. But that's pretty normal considering the lifestyle of the traveling Jose. So anyway, what I'd love to encourage everybody to do is take advantage. Oh, there he is. Hey, Jose.
Hello.
So I just want to encourage everybody that's here with us now to, and this is not a forceful thing, but turn your video on so you can see the faces. That's one of the things that make this such a unique kind of gathering is that we get to see each other. And the more we step away from being able to see each other, we lose the magic. So if everybody is okay to do that, and nobody just got out of the shower in some distant country that just woke up, I would understand. But I'd love to see everybody's faces. So Jose, before we kick it off, and I'm going to challenge everybody with a fun topic. What's the good word of the day, and where are you coming from?
I'm in the Amazon. We just restarted retreats after 5 weeks of a rest, of a hiatus here. And yeah, it was a challenging cycle, but at the end, everything was beautiful. The last week was a group of all Japanese.
Interesting.
It was an interesting group. It was mostly women, 10 women, two men, and most of them did not speak English.
Did they come to the Amazon from Japan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it was like a chain reaction kind of thing. Like we had a YouTuber come about a year and a half ago. This other pop star saw the YouTuber's video, and she's the one organizing this group. And I think it's going to be the first of many.
So cool. I'll share a quick synergistic story that just happened that I ran into somebody that I knew from the past that had run into somebody that they met that had been on, the trip to the Amazon. And they just were so excited to learn more about Arkana and everything like that. And in that conversation, organically, they found out that the people they were talking to knew me. So they came back to me and said, hey, I met so-and-so and so-and-so. And they put, all the dots together, and you could just tell how not only excited they were to look further, but also feeling like it was meant to be. So it was fun. And that just reminds me, you know, how valuable that is. Like, you can call it third-party credibility, but you know, when I hear somebody that I trust, know, like, and trust, know, love, and trust, talk passionately about something, it makes a big difference for me. All right, so welcome everybody. And my name is Dr. J.C. Dornick, otherwise known as the Dragon. And along with the amazing Billy V, we came up with this idea a long time ago about just having a gathering once a month. I want to openly apologize on behalf of everybody that it didn't work out last week, but as the universe would have it, there were technical difficulties and lots of challenges, but it's great to see everybody's face here. So on behalf of Billy, Jose, and everything that, you know, represents this group, I want to welcome everybody and thank you and honor you for taking time to be here. So just to stimulate to, you know, start building the soup here today, Jose, Billy, something came to me through, you know, some readings that I was doing the other day, and I thought it would make for a great topic of discussion in the integration world. Just looking at the idea of taking the information that we have learned from our experiences on retreat and just looking to process it and rationalize what it means in this world here, however you want to refer to this world. So I'm just going to read something, and then I'd love to hear Billy, Jose, your feedback, and then we can open it up for questions and discussions and things like that. But I want to welcome everybody. If there's anybody here that's never experienced Arkana or plant medicine, welcome. This is a psychological safe haven that you can learn and meet some spectacular people here that are open and curious to all things. Okay, so here we go. I don't know where I heard this, but I put it together and made sense of it myself. So looking at the idea of plant medicine and trying to figure out what it is that it does for us. I wrote this: plant medicine has the magical capacity to allow your brain to reestablish that default mode, which could be when you were born, that default mode where it is no longer tethered to the things that no longer apply in your life. So just process that for a second. I remember, Jose, I heard you talk about this idea of ego death, but also this concept of the death of the version of you that no longer applies. And I think this is a relevant topic. So back to that default mode that is not tethered to things that no longer apply and things perhaps that don't matter, and then rest in a place of present time love and gratitude. So you can listen to this recording some other time and think about that. So the question I have to begin the discussion is to Billy or Jose, whoever's passionate to start, is what is it exactly that plant medicine does for us?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is about releasing programs that have been put on us by family, by society, by our environment. And it's about really taking us to the very true essence of who we are, which is love and happiness, no? And I think that more than learning things with plant medicines, it's about unlearning. It's about removing these layers and navigating through that so that we can refine, you know, re-encounter ourselves, our true selves.
How do we lose our true selves?
I would say, like all of these layers, all of these expectations, all of these things that get put on us, you know, our parents' expectations, our profession, what we should do.
Yeah.
It's like loading up the wheelbarrow with all this weight that we carry around. And to me, plant medicine, it takes you back to basics. It teaches you how to connect with nature, how to enjoy the simple joys in life around you, how to live like a, life with a light heart. Don't overcomplicate things and just try to really reconnect with the power of love and share that with whoever crosses your path. And to
Jose,
me,
let me ask you a question about what you just said. Do you think one of the reasons that sometimes, I mean, we hear all these stories about it. Plant medicine is going to show you what you need to see. But do you think one of the things that humans struggle with the most when working with plant medicine or in life in general is the notion of detaching from a lot of these things that you've become tethered to? Because sometimes these problems, you can almost be addicted to your problems in life. We hear a lot of people talk about that. Do you think that when people have a quote unquote rough time, do you think that that is generated from this pulling away from things that you've been tethered to?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely, because these are not necessarily the things we want. And it's as if you're following this progression of things. And I'll tell you like a quick story like mine. It was like, okay, you're gonna marry, you're gonna have kids, you're gonna make this, you need to be this, make this amount of money to be considered successful. Because I was judging my career and everything I did against that. But in reality, that wasn't my story. It was someone else's. And I was always trying to achieve things to check the boxes for, someone else, not for me, That wasn't really what made me happy. But it took some time for me to figure that out, and have that shift in perspective to say, how about writing your own story? As opposed to being concerned with what other people think about you and what you're doing, craft your own story. And for some people that may mean not having kids. For some people that may mean taking up, a different profession, no? So it's having that courage to really take that step back and say, to what degree what I'm doing follows what's expected of me or what I really want.
Which is how you would determine what no longer applies. I think that's
exactly.
You got to go through that process of saying, well, I didn't know this didn't matter until now. I love that. Love what you said. Billy, I know you got some thoughts on this. You're muted.
The question you asked and listening to Jose, I don't think you ever lose yourself. I think, how can you lose what you are? You can't be there and be here because you are here. You just forget yourself. Like you forget the supreme self, and the true self is the love self. So you forget like who you are as an individualized expression of the divine experiencing itself. And as part of that, your job is to experience and be the experiencer, entertain, be entertained, enjoy, live in joy, be of service, which is where you'll find a lot of joy. But you don't ever really lose yourself. You just, like the wheelbarrow is you're loading things on. And when you throw a load of earth over yourself, you just forget. It's like discover. You have to rediscover who you are, and discover is like discover. So take away that which is covering that which you are already. And I think like plant medicine, yoga, breath work, science, any modality, like life itself, like work, anything in life is basically everybody's on the same journey actually of rediscovering who they are and reuniting with the divine first in here and then everywhere, because that's your true essence. So that's the journey with all things.
I love that concept, because the word that's popping into my head right now is regeneration. You know, it's like you speak a lot about ignition of something that's already inside of you. And I think that's something, maybe that's what we forget, or we lost along the way, is that what we're looking for is not on the outside. So would you say that plant medicine helps you because you talk a lot about reconnect with the divine, but do you think that plant medicine helps people reconnect with that which they already are?
Exactly. Like the one word that comes up the most in retreats, I'm generalizing, but is love. Which love is just a frequency and vibration, which is the frequency and vibration of the universe. The universe being one song, a song being frequency and vibration, and that frequency and vibration is love. So really, you're reconnecting with the child of the universe you are, which is the same as saying the child of love you are. And then the medicines are acting as a channel of the divine to reconnect you with the child of love that you are, that the inner child, the child of light and love. And regeneration, like, again, think of what that word and what Jose is saying also is, generate comes from the Latin create. So regeneration is recreation. So then it's like, right, so this is what I am right now. I am always now. And in the eternal now, there is eternal peace, bliss, because that's the essence of your true nature. And then in that space, take the love in your heart and then create from that. So who do you want to be? Like, what do you want to feel? What do you want to enjoy? What do you want to learn? And then focus on that now, and then let that amplify into tomorrow. And then you change your life, essentially.
You know, this is so fascinating, because we can interpret this into something that is very, very mainstream medicine right now. And I'm sure everybody here has heard about like stem cell research and the advancements of stem cell work. And the idea of that, and the reason why it's something that is not been given the okay yet, is because the idea is to take something outside, stem cells, and put them inside. But the latest technology in that world is looking at the idea of regenerating the stem cells that already are within you.
Yeah, and actually, funnily, all cells have, like, so Bruce Lipton's research on stem cells is you can take what all cells have like are the same, in the sense that I can take one stem cell and I can put it in 3 dishes. He did it obviously with fat, muscle, and bone. And then the cell turns into whatever you put that culture in, and it's the same cell, which also then goes into like the integration element of the culture and environment you're from. So creating who you are, but once you understand who you are, then you get to choose who you create yourself to be, and then put yourself in the environments that bring you the most change, love, joy.
So cool. So let me just kind of reset things right now, and then I want to invite some of you guys and girls that are here, humans, to either share something that's on your heart right now, ask a question. Just remember, safe place to come learn and grow. But this is a gathering that is really recognizing, you know, what I guess we would call the Friends of Arkana. Most of the people in this room here have experienced the amazing magic that happens at the Arkana retreats, but we also welcome everybody from everywhere in here. One of the things I think that makes Arkana unique. And this is a gathering that we have the intention of doing once a month. We call it the A.I.M, A-I-M, Ayahuasca Integration Mastermind. How we came up with that name, I don't know, but it's just toothpaste sounding, but it's working. But we just want to let everybody know that this is something that we're gonna have for you always, and it's just a place for you to come and feel that experience of being in a room full of open and curious, wonderful human beings that are exploring. And so much gratitude to Jose for not only creating this amazing thing, but constantly going through all of these amazing challenges that the universe is putting in front of him, and just continuing to forge forward to have these people from Japan come there. That wouldn't have happened. So anyway, I want to invite anybody here to just, raise your hand or unmute, share something that's on your heart. Remember, you affect everybody when you do that. Or ask a question. You've got, Billy and Jose here, and also a lot of amazing people. So who'd like to do that?
I will.
Nice, Susan. Go for it.
Hey, I'm the Susan Brown on Facebook, and I was logged out on my cell phone, but I couldn't.
One thing I'll tell you,
manipulate the controls at all. So now I'm on my computer.
There's certain people that when like our meeting doesn't happen, Billy and Jose, like immediately say like, what's going on? Where is it? Susan's one of them. And Joni as well. So go ahead, Susan, what's on your heart?
Yeah, so I'm on the Inner Banks of North Carolina. I haven't found anyone that's been to Arkana here, but I have had a couple talks with Raphael. But anyway, I spent 2 weeks in January at Sacred Valley, and I'm going back in August for another week. And then I'm going to stay for a little while, like in Urubamba. I had reservations in Pisac, but this young guy that doesn't know anything about breath work calls me every single day. And so he's making all these plans for Pisac. And I simply met him at the silver factory in Pisac. And anyway, now I sound like Joe Biden. Oh, anyway, but anyway, I just wanted to say hi. I tried doing this breath work thing. Oh, it was shared. Jose, you probably know who he is. I forgot. Tom. Anyway, it's a 45-minute breath work, and it is profound. And I thought I would do it every single day until I go back. But you know what? I cry every time, and I don't know if that's a useful thing. So maybe some feedback. I mean, maybe it's good to get rid of all this clutter before I go back and see Mother Aya again. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, I think it's a good thing. It's emotions moving through your body, and it's about acknowledging them and letting them flow freely. So it's a good thing. We're
So
doing it wrong.
Keep it up. Maybe maybe I'll have better, like when I was there in January, the first week was really profound, and I had something really heavy duty to integrate. The second week, I don't know if, so I didn't have like a lot didn't go on in ceremony for the second week with me. And I'm thinking that it's because what I found out the first week was so earth-shattering for me personally. I mean, it was the unspeakable that I never dreamed of. Sorry, I'll be quiet now.
No, this line of work takes time, and all ceremonies are different, all weeks are different. And it sounds like, you were giving some homework to do, no? And to process and let that thing completely unfold before, you can get more from the medicine.
And I'd like to share, so I was really open, like I did Bufo twice. And I did experience the creator. And I mean, I can go back and have this profound, well, the first time I went back and saw this video, I had this profound experience where I had this, I mean, it was like I went right through it again. But when I came back, I was so open, and I went to the surgeon that I trusted. I had my knees replaced. So I went through major surgery and almost died since I've been in Arkana. And I feel as though that experience sort of undid all of the positive that I gained, or a lot of the positive that I gained from my 2 weeks at Arkana. So that's all. Thank you.
It's interesting concept to, I think a lot of people, Billy, are looking to become open, right? I mean, that's like something we are looking to achieve. But then for some reason, we've been programmed to think that what comes out when we open is good or bad. And, you know, you speak a lot about this concept that we're nothing but love. Because so here's Susan just, you know, wondering if crying is a bad thing. You know, so my question to you is that when a human being experiences an opening, is anything that comes out bad, or is it just a perception?
Or is it just is?
It could be in between a perception and nothing. You can just call it is. I like it.
I mean, yeah, it just is as it is, and our attachment to that is what we perceive as good or bad. But like ultimately, all is one. It's like this. It's like duality exists, but duality exists for unity to exist, and they it's like yin yang. It's like there can be duality, but the ultimate reality is one. So if you look from that lens, then there is no good or bad. That's your attachment or your craving or aversion to that thing that you're perceiving that way. But all it is just it. It is, and it is what it is. And actually, like when you understand that and let it be as it is, as a perfect expression of what it is in that moment, then you'll find peace with it, whether it be good or bad, because it's neither. It just is it's an expression of one expressing.
I love it. I heard in one of I was interviewing somebody on my podcast, and I heard them talk about the differentiation between two words that we use a lot, but we don't understand their partnership. And he was talking about the difference between a perspective and a perception. And this is a really cool thing for you guys to grab. If anybody other than Beatrix that's driving wants to take out a pen and write those two words down, this is kind of a fun thing for you to grasp. Perspective and perception. So if you think about it, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? So a perspective is something that you have acquired along the way, and that could be from an outside in programming. Your mother, father, teacher, preacher, maybe what you're consuming with regularity on society, and your current life experience is where you gain your perspective. But your perspective, to what Billy just said, is actually that which has the potential to shape the lens that is giving you your perception. So if you're perceiving that something is good or bad, like, you know, you just heard Billy, his perception right now comes from his perspective is that it just is. So somebody can hear that, but if you leave this and you struggle with like owning that, you have to understand that Billy's acquired a perspective that gave him that. So I think it's important to know the differentiation between the two, because if we start acknowledging, and this kind, Jose, this is kind of this idea of stripping away that which we are not. I think we have to understand that the illusion of life and reality very often is coming from a perspective that might have been given to us by others. Jose, am I right? I mean,
Totally, because you make that your identity when your true essence may be different from that identity. We're all wearing these costumes and we're like, okay, you know, this is an African American and it was born in this family, blah, 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 blah. And it all makes this identity, but that's not who we truly are. Inside, we're all manifestations of the same divine energy, but we're just wearing these costumes. And attached to those costumes comes expectations and different things, no? Different programs.
One of the things that I experienced with Arkana, and specifically hanging around Jose, is I always noticed how whenever myself or anybody else presented him with something that they thought, you know, Jose inherently knows that that's just their perception, and it's the illusion that they created. But one of the things I always loved about Arkana is nobody ever comes in and tries to fix that person. Like Jose would always just, no matter what happens, like there could be like a bonfire in the middle of the night, and Jose will just go, huh, look at that.
No, do you know what he'll say? He'll he'll wake up and he'll go, "Oh, that was a quiet ceremony."
I'll never forget one of the greatest stories is when we were in ceremony and it was over, you know, we're all having that delicious apple and just hanging out. And Jose's sitting there just relaxing. Some of my favorite moments, you know, are after. And one of the members of our group just all of a sudden at like 4 a.m. finally had it kick in, and just like, you know, just like that bonfire started. And I just remember watching how Jose handled it, you know, and it was just like so profound for me to watch how my perception was that there was a big issue and a problem. And of course, Jose just began to just, you know, blow mapacho on them, and everything worked out fine. You know, so I learned a lot of lessons from that. So anybody, I would love to hear from somebody else to step in. Who would like to share something? Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what's up, everybody? I did I went to the Iquitos location in October, and life hasn't been the same since, in a good way. I guess the word that comes to my mind, and maybe it's relevant for others here, is being aware of the present, and also understanding that it's a challenge day to day to try and be cognizant of the perceptions and the programming that is always in everything. My biggest takeaway from Arkana, which I was completely unaware of the amount of self-development I had been doing for 18 months prior to going there. I was doing a lot of reading into personal health, wellness, other types of sources on YouTube and books. And in my first 48 hours, first 2 nights, I had everything I could have asked for, including all the ugly and the good. And at one point, I'm pretty sure on the second night, which was the rough night, is I lost my entire vision, lost my whole identity of self, 100% ego death for the first time in my life. But fortunately, the big takeaway is I realized that life often presents you in cycles and patterns, and you can easily trap yourself in those. And I think I realized that I was in where I could always stay if I wanted to, or I could move beyond it if I ever wanted to truly live again and actually live a good life. So that actually helped me quit drinking. So getting out of the military and going through COVID, I noticed that myself and many others, alcohol was something that just seeped into people's lives and their day to day. And I actually gave it up that night. So that was actually the subconscious motivation for going to Arkana, was trying to find any kind of thing to kind of move beyond stress and career things. And I guess the one thing I would top it off with is, even right now, you know, I gave myself some time off after or prior to Arkana and after Arkana, not working. And I was able to just look inward repeatedly and process and repeatedly do a lot of reading. And it was the most beneficial thing. Even this past month, I think I've read or listened to a handful of audiobooks, but I do struggle with still the presence and the idea that the careers and career opportunities around us, given all the challenges day to day, are things that we almost can't walk away or separate us from. So I think it's almost like a mental discipline or dexterity of reminding yourself all the good things you uncover in those nights, but then also trying to remember that everything that is outward, like you said, can be pretty illusory. And you can prescribe yourself your own identity really quickly if you let it get out of hand. So thank you.
You're amazing, Trevor. It's great. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for sharing, and just watching you speak and like hearing you articulate. You know, you're a powerful dude. So you're what a great asset. I heard somebody say something the other day that, you were just talking about how the outside forces are illusory. I heard a really simple way of looking at it and say, you don't know that what you're eating is bad until it gives you a bellyache. Right? So, and sometimes it takes a while to get that bellyache, right? The question is why do we have to have a bellyache to know that we ate something bad? Awesome. Anybody else want to check in or chime in? Would love hearing from you guys. What's going on in the car there, Beatrix? You guys look like you're like, what is that? Thelma and Louise or something, traveling down the road.
Hi guys, we're just heading home from the beach. So I thought we're just gonna pop here and say hi and see what's going on as we're heading to Arkana next month. So yeah, just living life,
That's
Are
awesome.
you going to the jungle? Where are you going?
Yes, this time we're going to the jungle.
Where? What date?
On the 25th
Of July.
August.
Of August.
Yes. And Martorell is coming too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And possibly Olivia.
That's super cool. I'll be
I'm
there.
gathering everybody.
Ellie and I will be here.
Yeah, so see you guys there shortly.
Hi, Dora.
And
How are you?
I love how people like that are staying together. And this is what we hope, will build into even more of these situations where, it's nice when you get a bunch of people that you love so much to come back, to go back. Like I'm talking to a group of people right now about going to the jungle or Sacred Valley. We haven't decided yet, but in like December-ish. So it's just fun. That's so cool that you guys are doing that. And obviously you're taking everybody with you. That's awesome.
Billy and I were discussing the same thing today, because I was telling him that it really makes a difference when the group knows each other. Like these Japanese women, they have some sort of like a spiritual group back in Japan. So they all knew each other, and it was a small group, but you're connecting immediately. You're open. And with some flexibility, and the same thing happened in the retreat in Tulum where you guys got the whole group from Yucatan together. So we're actually going to be encouraging people to do reunion retreats sometime next year, because those are fun.
Love that idea. Because there's nothing like, I feel that to an extent when I come even to these gatherings here. It's just so good to be around you guys. I haven't been around you since I've been around you. I always feel the energy of you, but the idea of getting the band back together and going in together is just, it's beautiful. Joni.
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute. I hope you do go in November. I don't know when you're going in December, but I'm gonna be on the first week of December. I'm gonna be at the Sacred Valley. I'm going for
maybe that's the deciding factor right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. There, I think the benefit for me personally, the benefit of experiencing ayahuasca was for me kind of like a push in the direction of like a major life overhaul. I'm completely changing everything about my life. Billy knows about something a little bit about it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but everything is changing. I'm changing my career, I'm changing my location, everything, and I'm starting it off in the Sacred Valley. I'm gonna go do another retreat. I just went in March. And then I'm gonna go again the first week in December. So I don't know. I think if you feel stuck in your life, or if you know anybody who feels stuck, in some kind of rut, or just and is looking for some kind of a push in a different direction, I think plant medicine can really help with that, as it did with me. I mean, it really did with me. I'm changing everything and I'm very excited. So,
Just to give you guys some context of that, she's going to be facilitating at Arkana.
Joni, let me ask you a question in
yeah.
light of this conversation. This idea, the way that you just laid it out is that you're making all these changes, right?
Yeah,
And by the way, Susan, look at Joni. She's saying crying is fine.
it is. It really is.
But my
Let
question
it
to you is,
cry all the time. Every time, if you feel it, cry. Just let it out. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Just do it.
are all these changes that you're talking about, are they just you shedding things that are no longer apply?
Yeah, it really kind of allowed me to just let go finally of all of the things that I had been kind of covering myself with and fashioning again, like as like, and I don't want to say like a wall, but just oh, I'm this and I'm this, but you're not those things. And just to be able, it's heavy, and to be able to get to the point where you can put it down and breathe finally. It's profound, and it's just I think that's what it can help you, what plant medicine can help you achieve is really remembering, like Bill, I think it was Billy, somebody said, it's remembering who you are. It's not figuring out who you are. It's remembering that you were always the thing that you that you're always, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Beautiful.
Just that you're always you've always been the thing that you've been searching for, trying to create for yourself, that you're already that. You just got to put down all those things that you are pretending to be, for the sake of, I don't know what, saving face or getting around in this kind of, what's the word, like this reality. Yeah. I don't know how to put that in better words, but
Ariel shares this quote
okay.
always with the guests, and it's the man who looks outside dreams, the man or woman who looks inside awakens.
Yes.
And it's like that.
It is like that. It really is like that.
And those look like tears of joy. When
they are.
when we make that's kind of like what it was always like when I would come out of my Sapo experience. Is the reason why I would just be so full of gratitude that I was blessed by seeing something. And sometimes it was identifying what I needed to shed. It's overwhelmingly beautiful. So, sometimes crying is better than laughing. Beautiful. Excited for you, and congratulations that you're going to pay it forward and start to become part of the healing process for others.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So I see somebody in the chat, but your name is iPhone 6 and you wanted to ask a question. So I don't know who that is. Is iPhone 6 here?
I am iPhone 6.
Oh, there you are. So let everybody know who you are.
I'm Jordan. I was at Arkana about over a year ago, and I started off my spiritual journey, kind of like plant medicine healing journey over there. And it's been an amazing transformation. Definitely, Arkana really helped me find myself, just like Joni was saying, like uncovering yourself, remembering yourself again. And I just had a quick question for Jose, if he's still there. I was just wondering about how they work the dietas there, or is this a kind of call to ask that question, or is it suitable?
Sure. Yeah, the dietas, many different maestros do it differently, no? But some maestros do short dietas, which in my experience, the short dietas I've done, I haven't gotten much out of them, and it's quite the sacrifice. So here in Arkana, we do dietas for a minimum of 3 months,
Mm.
And we ask people to come for like a full cycle, like 3 weeks, and really give them a taste of what the dieta is like, no? So you stay in one of the isolation rooms in the back, the tambos, and the dieta is almost like writing a contract with the shamans, like a spiritual contract, where they you know, they share their energy with you, and they have to kind of approve the application of the
Yeah.
dieta. They want to make sure that the person who's going to be doing the dieta actually will follow the rules, because when you do a dieta and let's say you eat the wrong type of food, they get sick. So it's a big commitment on both parts, the dietero and the shaman leading the dieta, no? But 3 weeks really gives you a good idea of what the dieta will be, and then you can decide whether it makes sense to open the dieta and continue on.
Yeah, I totally agree with the like doing a smaller dieta first before you go into one, and like a longer one. Especially, I've had I had experience with. Well, I've had experience. I've did a dieta, in Tarapoto, near Tarapoto, and so I've had like a little bit of experience. I did like 3 weeks and then a week. So it was like a week to start off and then 3 weeks. And like now I feel like I'm kind of trying to find my maestro or maestra to really trust and learn under. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, because it's a major commitment from them, and they need to trust me and trust the student that's going to learn. And I was just kind of trying to figure out how I could possibly like do that in the future, and like what is the pricing of it. I'm sure you're not going to say it here, but yeah, that was just kind of my question.
And we can continue this conversation offline,
Yeah.
and give you all the details for those dietas.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jose, for everything that you've done for me, and Billy as well, helping me in that in them ceremonies. So I'll never forget them. And I appreciate what you are doing here. It's amazing what you are doing, these monthly checkups. I appreciate it a lot. And thank you for answering my question.
It's so fun to see that taking place, you know, Jordan, you know, it's just so, I totally resonate with just the energy and this deep breath before the plunge. You know, you're in this process right now and searching and stuff like that. And it's just such a blessing to be able to have people that you can ask those questions to, and that you can feel safe will guide you in the right direction. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm excited for you and everybody else that's going to be affected by you.
Thank you very much.
Which I would say is the world.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to chime in? This has been a beautiful, there you go, Ryan. Ryan, I think I just made you unmute with my brain. I was looking.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I really resonated with what Joni was talking about how like I've done all this work on myself, and I feel like I'm ready for a big change in my life. But at the same time, I don't want a new life. I just want to change my environment. So I was working with some mushrooms down by the river near my house, and I had this beautiful beaver swim by, so right in the middle of my own little personal ceremony. And he like slowed down and he looked at me and he said, if you don't like your environment, change it. And for coming from a beaver, I thought that was very, very profound, because they're, other than us, they're one of the most successful ecosystem engineers on the planet, right? So I was hoping if anybody had some advice, like this beaver can start chewing down trees and build a dam and flood this area. How do I flood my area with love and with the energy that I'd like to be surrounded by? Thank you.
I love that analogy of the beaver, Billy. He wants to flood the area with love. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, that's the perfect place to start, right? I was reading this study recently about a smile, about like we've talked about on here before, like how infectious a smile is, and how if you actually just smile, you release brain chemistry to make you happy. So you can change your environment just by starting with something simple, by like smiling. Like it doesn't even need to be big, but it's almost like how you one your energy, frequency, and vibration, and how that transforms, how you're grateful, how you interact with your environment through gratitude, like through love. And then like I always talk about the butterfly effect. It's just like you just slowly begin to flap your wings and you create a tornado. The butterfly effect is basically like a butterfly flaps its wings, and then a week later, a tornado happens, and because of the vibration of the butterfly flapping its wings, it changes the direction of the tornado. And what I've realized is like actually, if you want to change the whole world, not just your environment, so not just the people around or your city, how you change the whole world is you just start with yourself. Like, and by changing yourself, you change the whole world. So then it becomes like all your actions matter, and they matter to matter. So you just start by changing yourself, by doing the right practices yourself, by being disciplined yourself, and by random acts of kindness yourself. And I'm actually going to ask Ty to talk about this because he's doing this in his business also quite a lot. So how are you changing like your business, and how are you trying to influence people?
100%. So my company, just a small little cliff note, represents 10 different restaurants and bars with a nice little event garden right in the middle. This is something that we were in the middle of creating whenever I went and experienced Arkana for the first time, and even asked Mother Ayahuasca, how that venture would even play out. I had a lot of concerns with it because it was headed in a trajectory that I was kind of walking away from. Now I don't drink, yet I own these bars and restaurants. So how does this all connect? And I realize I've now created an environment for community to come and be with each other and live together. And we have families and kids show up and everyone just have a good time. We're removing ourselves from the inside. I just read this study that said Americans spend 93% of the time indoors. And here I am having an opportunity to get people outside again, out in the sun, out experiencing one another, getting away from screen time, despite we're on screens right now. But I saw that there was an opportunity to take it to another level, that this is more than just a place that community can just come together and have conversation, get outside of their homes, get outside of their system. I had an opportunity to expand on that and now help my own personal community with what helps save my own personal life. And that is learning new modalities, learning new coping skills, basically equipping myself with new tools to work through this life. And a lot of those things include breath work classes, yoga, meditations, exercise, speaking about specific diets, and all of this fixed on how can I implement this into a company that also has alcohol and has parties and all these different other experiences. And what I realized is I was thinking that it need to be one or the other. Like it has to be this or it has to be that. But life is duality. Life is all of it encompassed. It's all together. If we try to avoid one, it's going to come back at you 10 times harder. So there's no reason for avoidance. It's just a moment of clarity where we can bring all of it together. So now this company is evolving to a point where I have people showing up early in the mornings, doing meditation with me, doing breathwork classes with me, going into vision with just their own personal self. No medicine, nothing. The medicine is within. And so when people start to recognize the change within themselves, when you talk about the type of connection these individuals have and reaching out to more people, I'm getting more and more people that show up with a very, you see it on, they wear it on their face, just like I did before I showed up to Arkana. I really do feel like I've lost 7 years of aging just because of the weight that I carried up until that point where Arkana let me shed that away. And so I'm literally watching my community get younger in front of me because I'm seeing them unpack these backpacks of trauma and all of this weight that they've just accumulated over their entire lives, and have an opportunity to facilitate this in my own hometown, which I never thought was going to be the case. I thought initially when I first had my breakthrough with Arkana, it was like, okay, this is what happens when you go to the jungle. In fact, we have the capabilities to do that all around the world in all kinds of different facets. And I'm doing it literally in the middle of 10 bars. And if I can change lives in the middle of an environment like that, then exactly what you said before, it's not necessarily changing your environment. You change yourself. When you change yourself, you start to, with your own action, people will begin to be curious and they start asking questions about themselves. Well, how can I have a smile like that guy has? And then they have that conversation with me. They get invited to one of these classes and they start to realize, oh my God, I have not had like a reset for myself in a decade. And this just happened with the breathwork classes 2 weeks ago. We had 3 people that completely changed within an hour period of just learning how to work with the systems that our creator gave us, and then walk away with a completely different perspective, a new paradigm, a new world. Because ultimately what happens when we make that transition, though it may be the same world, it's also not the same world anymore. Like a lot of you experience when you leave the jungle or leave Arkana, you say, life can never be the same. The world can never be the same. That's because the world's changed for you now. This is why I true belief in a multiverse, that we all live in different worlds. It's just what level are you at right now? And then you have that capability of just going to that next level and experiencing a new world or a new environment, but you're still in that same place. The only thing that's changed is you. And so that's something that I'm feeling a lot of gratitude right now, a lot of humility to watch my own community in Oklahoma, of all places, the suppressive Bible Belt of America, which again, I'm a huge love of religion as well, but a lot of people get fixated on this as the only way. And whenever they have struggles and questions and doubts, it's like, I have nothing but tools to offer you. I'm not trying to ask you to change your beliefs, but I'm just trying to let you know that that power is also within you, that the creator that you believe in is the one that gave it to you. And watching these people walk away with a smile on their face, there's no amount of money that you could pay me.
That's exactly it. So you, like, this is for everybody here. You're all co-creators. And you are God, you're not the God. So you are the universe, but you're not the universe. So you're a co-creator, and collective creation is a collaboration. So we're actually collaborative co-creators in the creation of the collective experience of the whole world, actually. And the only way that you can ever do that is focus on yourself, on what you create yourself, and what you contribute to the collective creation through your own creative process.
Yeah, I look at people like Ty as what's the power and the value in the world when you make these discoveries, but then you start to manifest them like Ty is doing, because Ty, you're allowing this process to unfold. But I look at people like Ty as irresistible magnets of love. You like that? An irresistible magnet of love. And that's
my next tattoo.
There you go. And I just, right now, I'm setting one of my goals of 2024 before it closes, if I should be blessed to live longer, is to end up in one of Ty's Beer Gardens. Sounds like that's a good place to be. Joni, and then let's make this the last one, and then we'll close out.
I was just reminded of a quote when he was talking. I was just reminded of a quote. And Ryan, maybe this will be of help if you haven't heard it before. It's that it's a quote. I forget. I don't know who said it, but it's when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Wayne
You know
Dyer.
what I mean? That's I love that quote, and I think it also speaks to, you know, just changing what's within you in order to see the change that you want with like, in front of you and all around you.
You know, what an interesting statement that you just made, because when you say something like that, you change the way you look at things you look at change.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, yeah. However, they forget that the challenge is in executing that versus the jacuzzi experience of understanding it. So
Yeah.
there's people in this room that can say that statement. I mean, look, you guys that know me, I wear glasses without lenses in them, you know?
Oh, really?
And that's because I've changed the way I look at things. So I think that's probably one of the major benefits also of the work that we're doing here. I like to think that, Jose, what you're creating for everybody here knows what secondhand smoke is, right? Somebody's smoking a cigarette, you're kind of like getting it as well. But I think what Jose is doing is creating a situation where there's secondhand love.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if any of you are just in the presence of others, they're just going to feel it. Right? So any final words before we close out, Billy, Jose?
Well, one thing I want to share with you guys, we're very excited because, I mean, business has been slow for us for whatever reason, you know, the recession or you name it. And we're getting very creative and doing things differently. Next year, we're thinking of doing thematic retreats, like for, let's say, a yoga retreat, a retreat for couples, all females. And we're probably going to start towards the end of the year. So we're thinking of doing an Iboga retreat in Mexico. So that's exciting. So bringing people that, you know, we found that people who've been to Arkana multiple times, you know, they've done all the medicines and they're very open to trying something new, something different, no? So, and Billy hasn't tried Iboga, so I'm excited to share Iboga with Billy. So that's one of the things, but I mean, you guys will receive announcements on all of these new initiatives and things for next year. And this one way of keeping our community engaged and challenging them to keep going for more, no? Not settle with whatever the ayahuasca retreat offered you.
Ty?
Man, Jose, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get out there in the next few months or so. I'm going to connect. I've got so many ideas.
Ty,
talk with you about, and I would love to have some conversations.
Absolutely.
Ty, I'm going to contact you after this call, but I can't remember the date that you sent me, but that week in August is going to be that. I think Beatrix is coming that same week, but that's going to be a fiesta.
I think it was October 20th through the 27th, I want to say. I'll have to look back at it.
Oh, no, that's not the right date.
Yeah, but I would love a fiesta.
We'll talk. So I'm going to be in the jungle from August 7th, basically till the end of the year, for anybody who wants to come. And yeah, in August. What date is in August? August 21st.
21st, yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have a party.
I can't even imagine what that means when Arkana says they're going to have a party.
No,
We're having a
I I turned 50 this year. My wife turned 50. Shannon turned 50. So we're throwing a big party. We don't turn 50 every year.
The dragon is about to turn 53. I got your beat, man. You're
Oh, yeah?
just a young man.
Seniors are invited too. No, I'm kidding.
You have it. Yes, the
And
senior
we-
citizens will come as well.
And we could get a little video opportunity to see what that party looks like. Sign me up. I definitely can go sign in.
Yeah, maybe we'll put a live stream on.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, I just want to just thank, from the bottom of my heart, just as a human being that is, journeying through the world, just like all of you, so it's just so much gratitude for not only the experience, but just for having the ability to be with you today. You took some time from all over the world, took some time to be here together with your Arkana family. So, thank you so much. These videos will be posted to, we have a YouTube channel. I will post the YouTube video in the A.I.M page as well as the Friends with Arkana. You guys are all welcome to, subscribe and all of that stuff to get notifications of that or anything else that's coming up. Thank you.
Can I just say that just sorry, really quickly, that like you only exist in this moment. All you have is the present moment, right? You're as far into the future as you're ever going to be. The past doesn't exist. You have now. So you can all be beavers now, right? Which is from now, like create the life you would love to live with gratitude, with love in your heart, and you get the opportunity right now. So we're going to hang up this call and you will get the opportunity to live from love, do the best you can, be grateful, and create the life you would love to live right now.
Hashtag be a beaver. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much. See, Ryan, that was a powerful thing you did. You beavered us. Bye-bye. See you next month.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.